Hi guys, it's Alexander with another video, and today I want to talk about expert manifestation tips. I want to go a little bit deeper into what manifestation is and how it works in the level of our minds. Before we even get into actually creating it in the outer world, right? Things are created in our mind space first. Buddha said, the whole world is projection of your thoughts. So I want us to examine what are these, how do they work, and what are the ways to actually change them effectively, not just positively thinking and thinking good thoughts whenever you experience bad ones. That works on a level, right? But it doesn't really give us lasting change. So the challenge with our thoughts is that we're not fully aware of what's happening in our own minds. We're not really clued in. Things just happen, right? And we kind of have some control over some stuff, but mind just goes and goes and goes. Thoughts just go and go and go. Sometimes you can stop it, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you feel like you have some control, sometimes you feel like you have no control. Mind goes on its own pace. As humans, the challenge, and I feel like kind of the reason we're in this world, is we don't have full control of the mind. We don't have full awareness of what's happening in the mind. And so almost a game of life is actually raising your awareness to be aware of what's happening, so then you can change it. But meditation is one of the tools, gets you there, but it's a very slow process. It's effective and it's pretty much guaranteed to give you results. But there are also faster ways, rooted in modern coaching, that have analyzed human mind and modern psyche in a way. So there are quite a bit of shortcuts. And the shortcut is working with your beliefs. Because what's a belief? Belief is basically a blueprint, right, of a thought pattern. A belief is you thinking that something is very, very certain in the outer world. That's what a belief is. And as a human with not much awareness, you have to have some beliefs to be able to navigate in the world, because the world is a complex place, right? There's things, there's other people, there's big people, small people, white people, narrow people, right? People of different races, nationalities. There's lots of things like electronics, computers, all sorts of technologies. So we have to have some beliefs about something to be able to navigate at least somehow. We have some beliefs of what people are dangerous, what people are safe, what people we can trust, which ones we can't, what people are going to help us, what people are not going to help us, what situations are they going to help us in. And we kind of operate in this belief manifested world, our own beliefs. And beliefs are not bad, they're just there. Of course, it's better to see reality as it is, truly 100%, but it's unavailable to most people. So we have beliefs. Now, beliefs are going to form by themselves. They're going to be taken on from the people, or sometimes you will consciously create beliefs. And sometimes they will serve you really well, and some others won't serve you really well. A belief is just a thought, repeated many, many, many times, so it becomes ingrained into the mind, kind of like burned into the memory, kind of like a CD or a vinyl, how do you call them, things, that has the groove grooved in so hard that it's just there. That's kind of what belief is. The only difference is beliefs can still be changed, but it would take a bit more effort to change a belief than to change a thought, because a belief is a pattern that has been repeated so many times that it's kind of fixed in place. And then your other thoughts and actions are kind of operating on top of those beliefs. This is just to make things a lot faster, because you're not able to process everything consciously, just like you don't think about the heartbeat or the breath even quite often. So beliefs are a funny thing, because they quite often save us from trouble, they save us from pain, they save us from danger. But the modern world is so different to how it used to be, that the environment changes so fast that sometimes you pick up beliefs that maybe saved you when you were young, as a small baby, maybe not so civilized society, that when you come in a society that's more civilized, more affluent, those beliefs are hindering you, right? Because you're not in immediate physical danger anymore. Even when people shout at you, they might never hit you, but you might think somebody shouting at you means that they're about to hit you. So you might attack first, because if you attack first, you kind of win, right? That's also a belief, right? That can be tested sometimes by people. So we have a lot of beliefs about ourselves that are empowering us, and we have a lot of beliefs that are disempowering us. You have to come to an understanding that right now you have beliefs You think the world is a certain way, and you are a certain way. And that is stopping you from getting what you really want. And those beliefs, no matter how much you manifest, no matter how much visualization you do and journaling, those beliefs are like the underlying foundation, the unconscious. And you're trying to build your dream life on this shaky foundation that doesn't support that. You know, your belief is that you're not good enough, you're not talented, that you come from a bad family, you know, family of losers, and you're trying to build a belief of your fame and success and lots of money on top of that. Well, that's not gonna work, right? Because you're a loser. You're a loser. You know, a belief of success will struggle standing on the foundation of a loser. Now, you might not even be aware of that belief quite often. But if you look at your actions and think, if you ever started something and stopped, started and stopped, started and stopped, can it be rooted in the belief that you think you're not good enough? I was listening to Tony Robbins' audiobook the other day. It's a very short one. It's about 1.5 hours. And he's very, very effective with his words because he wants this 1.5 hours to be action-packed. And he just goes onto beliefs, and how to change them and how to integrate new patterns and new behaviors. And we analyze belief, and I was analyzing my beliefs, and I have a lot of empowering beliefs. Beliefs that I have a talent, beliefs that I can talk to anyone, beliefs that I can survive in any situation. You know, I lived in lots of countries, in India, in Thailand, in Bali, in the United Kingdom, in the US, in many, many, many places I've been to. I managed to survive. I managed to find ways to live. Sometimes I have a remote income. There were times where I didn't, and I still managed to make it work, right? Managed to whip up things on demand, just when it was absolutely necessary. What this experience has instilled and reinforced is that I can survive in any situation. I can do anything. I can really do anything. You know, if I can do this, what I've done in the last couple of years, I can do anything, right? I lived in an ashram, I lived in the mountains, I lived on an island, I lived in a big city, right? Everything. I can manage all of that. Now, that's a very empowering belief, because based on that belief, when I think of doing something, or I think of visiting a country that may be not so popular, like Mongolia or Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan, you know, and going to live on a mountain of 3, 4, 5,000 meters above sea level, or hiking, those things can be frightening to a lot of people that they will never do them. But me knowing that I can survive in any situation, I fully accept whatever consequences are going to be there. Discomfort, lack of food, maybe clothing, maybe something's going to break, maybe I'm going to be cold, maybe I'm going to be underslept, maybe I'm not going to feel too good. But all of that can be accepted easy because I can know 100%, and that's a belief, that I can survive in any situation. That's a belief, because can a human really survive in any situation, right? If you put a human body on the sun, what's going to happen to it? If a human is underwater for a long time, what's going to happen to it, right? So my belief is I can survive in any situation, because that gives me confidence and courage and energy to move forward. And every little obstacle that comes up, every little challenge, I can throw away. I also have many other empowering beliefs, but I also have disempowering beliefs. I have believed that I have some sort of disability and I struggle with focus, almost like an ADHD. So many people told me that so many times that somehow I started believing that. And then when I'm sitting there and I want to do something and then I struggle with focus, thoughts of victimhood, or like I struggle to complete something, maybe perfectionism kicks in or something else, or I'm just genuinely tired, and then that victimhood can pop in. And sometimes it's even unconscious that it would just stop me from doing something, me not even thinking, oh, I'm not good enough to do this. It just stops me from taking action. It just stops me from continuing consistently doing what I want to be doing. This is the crazy things about those beliefs. And quite often we accept them, sometimes not knowing, sometimes we kind of even consciously accept them. I believe that something is not quite right with me, that something is wrong, something is odd. And if you have a special type of a mind, you're very creative, you come up with ideas very fast, I can freestyle rap, I can sing, I can come up with stories and ideas really fast. It's a very special type of a mind compared to, you say, average minds of people. And so when I get feedback from average minds that something is not right, I then think, oh, something isn't right. And then I'm not allowing myself to be living into my full potential. And I can see how many times this has limited me. So working through that belief and questioning it by asking the question, is that true? Is it actually really true? What does it cost me? What does it cost me in my life, in my success, in my happiness? What does it cost me emotionally? What does it cost me financially? What does it cost me with my friends, with my family, with my loved ones? What has that belief cost me? And so doing those questions and bringing out the pain that it gives, naturally a new empowering belief comes in. And it's quite often the opposite of that belief. Because to remove the negative effects of a belief, of a disempowering belief, really we want to put something equally opposite. Because like the way human mind is right now, for most of you, is you can't just remove a belief and there be nothing. There has to be some sort of belief there. And it can just be disempowering or empowering. So you're either going to be living in an illusion that you're worthless, or you're going to be living in a delusion that you're the shit, that you're the best. And if you look at celebrities, if you look at rappers especially, they're living in an illusion that they're invincible and that they're the best. And a lot of them walk around invincible, quite often get shot, killed, quite often get arrested, end up in prison, right? So you can see that there's a limit to that, and you have to be realistic at some point. But for most of you, if you have a belief that you're not good enough to have your own business, and you're going to replace it that you were born with a perfect enough talent, biology, and life story to have a business, that's not going to get you in any danger with the law, unless you don't pay your taxes. I mean, it will put you in some risk, right? But the trade-off of you living life you truly desire and fulfilled would be really, really worth it. And so ask yourself, which ones of those beliefs you want to keep and which ones do you want to get rid of? And to get rid of them, you have to affirm the opposite. Yeah, if you want to be if you want to be a very good basketball player, the belief is I'm not good at basketball. Is I'm great at basketball. I'm great at basketball. I'm great at basketball. I can score 2 3-pointers from, I don't know, whatever, 30, 20, 50 meters. Yeah, haven't played basketball in a long time. If I have a belief that my voice isn't good enough, I have a great voice. I have an amazing voice. I can sing opera. Right? You can cease. Could use some work. But believing that something is wrong is not going to get me there. Me having total faith and continuing to take action and continuing to take improvement is going to work. But belief must change. The body will follow. And so affirming the opposite of your belief will be like the starting point for you to start shifting that energy, removing those blockages, and allow yourself to keep going and moving and growing to the direction you want to be going. So if that makes sense, as an exercise, here's what you do. Make a list of empowering beliefs that you have. You can just write down 5 empowering beliefs you have and just take one of them and analyze and have a look. How has it helped you in your life? What benefits have you got from it? How has the world benefited from you having that belief? And make a list of 5 disempowering beliefs. Select one, the one that pops out the most, and ask yourself, how has it stopped you from getting what you really want in life? What did it cost you emotionally, in the level of your happiness, in the level of your mental peace? What does it cost you for your friends, your family, your loved ones? Just question that, and if you like to change it, if you do have a desire to change it, create an opposite empowering belief to that disempowering belief and affirm it many, many times. Not just saying it as an affirmation, but as Tony Robbins calls it, incantation, is when you use all of your body to generate an emotion, to generate a body motion as well, and you say it you say it in a different way, right? Something like, say my old belief would be I'm not good at speaking at camera. I did have a belief like that. The new belief is I'm great at speaking at camera. I'm amazing at speaking at camera. I'm the best person to record videos with. I'm the best person to speak at camera. I was born for camera. My face was made for camera. My voice was made for camera. My body was made for camera. Right? Everything about my life has brought me to the point where I'm the best person to record videos with. and you are the witness of this magic right now. So you use your body, you use your energy to help you to affirm and affirm and affirm and affirm, and they call it an incantation. This is something that can help you in the long run tremendously. So I really urge you to sit down and do those exercises and start questioning your disempowering beliefs. Look into them and affirm the opposite. This will give you true freedom in life, and true freedom is what I wish for you. Have a good day.